If after our opening weekend we had outscored our opponents 10-1 on aggregate, I would probably be putting together a video showing how awesome we are. Instead, it's a little bit the opposite. The good news, though, is it's in my heart to help people. I can even help referees, and I'll prove it from the video.
Yep. Good. Move the ball again. There's no advantage. I'll just help you there. There's none. There's absolutely none.
Most of my time is spent trying to help players and teams rather than referees. And listen, if you are a player that's circled or highlighted here, don't take it personally. It never is. It's important that we try to learn as much as possible from as many people as possible and that we do it as quickly as possible. So here are some things that I hope will help us straight away. In this clip, we don't really trap the ball, so we don't really keep the ball. As the ball arrives, just try to trap it. Here, we definitely have control of the ball, and it's trapped, so that's also actually very good defense, but then we don't pass the ball. So again, we don't have the ball. Trap it and pass it. Simple. I was a little bit in dismay the entire game at the structure of our back four. It just looked like everybody was an island doing their own thing. If you're a defender, it's critical that you are aware of spacing and relationships. It's a zonal system, so no one player is responsible for everything. Players have to position themselves to help each other. Take a look at these. Relationally, the defenders struggled in this game more than they ever have in any of the scrimmages or lead-ups to this opponent. And it's not a good time for that, to be quite honest with you. In this particular clip, this is our right back, that's their left forward. You'd expect the two to be matched up, but they aren't. The commonality is that most of the white defenders are only watching the ball, not each other, not the opponents. As a reminder, if this player, the center back, steps, it should automatically trigger a recovering movement from this player in that direction and this center back in that direction to shrink the gap. Watch what happens when it doesn't happen. We become really easy for the opponent to play through. Sophia, I'd like you to begin taking some responsibility for this. Note when you punt it, we're completely unshaped and disconnected. And at this point in the game, we're in a back three. But then take a look at our opponent and look at their back four. That is a well-drilled machine. And when one of them steps to compete for this ball, the others drop to fill the space. Well done them. And because we still haven't rebuilt the structure, when we get beaten by the ball, it requires a super save. One of the things that a winning team does is travel while the ball is in the air and compete for punts, goal kicks, and any time the ball is loose. Here, we're just so late and reactive. The other team comfortably has the ball before we apply any pressure to try to win it. We have to try to get the first touch on the ball. One of the definite strengths was that we moved the ball well, especially when we got it onto the foot of a midfielder. We had worked a lot on passing and moving, and I thought that you guys did that at a really high level for large portions of this game, and good things always came of that. The downside is that it never really culminated in clean attacking chances. We took shots from there a lot. Listen to me coach shot selection and shooting.
Release torque! Release torque! Separate by both! Hey, so listen, you're in range, but not when you're off balance, not when you're half-hearted. If you're going to shoot, put everything through it from there. Otherwise, we're just playing the gap.
Just a reminder from me that if the ball goes negative, backwards, everybody steps. And if it goes backwards for any reason, you'll step. Whether it's intentional, unintentional, a back pass, these things should push our back line higher. Doing so resets the offside line, it gets traffic away from our goalkeeper, and it puts pressure on them outside of our box. Related to that, if Sophia has communicated that she's going to punt the ball, we want our back four to be up and in, connected to each other, ready to win a second ball. I thought all game long that our center forward made the game difficult for us. Let me show you how. This is what I would categorize as a clean exit or an easy exit because this player here, she's got stuff to do, she's got problems to solve, but there's no one immediately in her way. So this is pretty good as far as soccer scenarios go. So my message here is don't run away, Bo, don't run away. What I'm reading is that our center forward here isn't going to outrun their center backs who are dropping here and here. And so it makes sense to just put the brakes on, let them separate from us, and play to her feet. That's way better than knocking a channel ball that has zero chance of winning. This is a similar scenario. It's a clean exit. We're comfortable on the ball. I think it makes sense, though, to run hard through the channels because the defender's shape just doesn't make sense. They aren't positioned well to defend. Take a look at them again as we carry the ball. So I think the red jerseys are just disconnected. I think the gaps are big. The right back's not part of this. And we almost succeed here. So it almost works. If you're an attacker, the main thing I want from all of this is just accept and acknowledge that you've got to make a decision. Either show short for the ball or make a run into the channel. But your decision has to happen before the ball gets played. In little kid and low-level soccer, it's good enough just to be able to chase the ball, but we're trying to elevate ourselves beyond that point. Ideally, we're always going to outrun their center backs, but if their center backs are good, fast, and critically, if they are dropping, it becomes difficult. So I think the best play is just pass the ball to the feet of our forward and advance our attack 10 yards, and then players travel with the ball. The other scenario is what I call an ugly exit or a contested exit. So we're kicking the ball, we're clearing it, we've missed a pass, we're punting the ball, whatever the case may be. In that instance, the ability of the center forward to just read the game and win the foot race to the ball is critical. If we win that game moment, we don't have to defend any longer. In both of these clips, the center forward fails to collect the ball or to compete effectively for it, and so the entire team has to defend again. This is one of the rare bright moments, and this is a great example. It's not really a planned exit, and Kalpow, the center forward, goes and wins the ball. We need more of that. I hope this helps. I hope this is instructional and informational. I'm going to be asking you to do these things all season long. And above all else, I hope you're able to watch this without feeling bad if you got circled or whatever, and without judging any of your teammates. We're in this together, and we just have to keep learning, keep going, and keep growing. We'll be fine. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.